Welcome to the AI Brief from the YPO Technology Network. I'm Stephen Forte. Most weeks, this show tells you what happened. Today is different. Today is about how the companies that are actually good at this stuff run it, in their own words, with their own numbers. On today's episode, the spending limit your AI agents do not have, the company that built a clever cost routing system and then killed it, the 2-hour agent meltdown caused by a boring database ticket, and one sentence from a fintech's engineering team that belongs on your CFO's monitor. Here is the promise for the next few minutes. By the end, you will have a 4-column, 1-page document to ask your team for, and the one that separates companies running AI agents well from everyone else. And you will notice that not one column requires buying anything. First, the lens, because it is the whole episode. For 2 years, the question, is your company good at AI, meant models and vendors. This week, I went digging where the real answers live now. The engineers and operators publishing what actually works in production, and what they have converged on independently from every direction looks nothing like a vendor deck. It looks like treasury management. An AI agent is an employee who works at machine speed with no judgment. The operators getting results are simply the ones who noticed that and applied the controls you already apply to anyone who can spend your money. Start with the money itself, because that is where the discipline shows first. One AI lead at a production startup posted his bill breakdown last week. 84% of his AI spend was not the questions or the answers. It was cache traffic, the invisible overhead of long-running sessions. He restructured how his team's sessions work and cut the bill roughly in half. One operator's numbers, not a study, but the direction has measured support. LangChain, a company whose plumbing runs inside a great many AI applications, so note they are not neutral, published eval data showing real cache savings of 49 to 80% depending on the model. Caching, for the non-technical among us, just means not paying to resend the same context over and over. It is a switch, and at most companies, it is not fully turned on. Now, the part that saves you from the next shiny project. The fashionable answer to AI costs right now is routing. Clever software that sends each task to the cheapest adequate model. The enthusiasm on the practitioner channels is real, with hybrid setups claiming 90% of the performance at half the cost. So listen to what happened at Manifest, a software as a service company that actually built one. 4 complexity tiers, 7,000 users, 4 months in production. Then they killed it and published the autopsy. Plain prompt caching saved more cache reads, run 75 to 90% cheaper, and saved it more reliably, while the router's habit of switching models mid-task introduced quality wobbles and evaluation overhead that quietly ate the gains. And there is a security footnote from a practitioner who builds agent security tooling. A routing layer is also a new attack surface between you and your vendors. Give Manifest real credit here. A company publishing, "We built this clever thing and it did not work," is the rarest document in business and the most useful. The rule that falls out of it is one your team can apply this week. Check caching before you build routing. One is a switch you turn on. The other is a system you must then govern. Here's the fence. The money controls are the easy half. The behavior controls are where production discipline actually lives. There is a checklist circulating among agent builders right now, the demo to production list, and every item on it should sound familiar. Hard spending caps per agent. Approval checkpoints before any destructive action, a human sign-off gate before an agent touches real data. Persistent memory so the agent is not new every morning. Nothing on that list is artificial intelligence. All of it is management. The serious operators go further. Sierra, a company that builds and runs customer-facing agents for other businesses, so this is their whole livelihood, published the architecture they run every agent session on. Locked down, stripped down containers. And this detail, which I would ask your team about tomorrow. Their agents never hold live credentials at all. No API keys, no database passwords. Every action passes through a layer the company controls and can kill instantly. One kill switch, one place. And when the controls are missing, it does not fail the way you would expect. In mid-July, Zendesk, the customer service software company, had its AI agents loop for more than 2 hours, repeating messages at customers even after humans took the conversations over. Here's the part worth the airtime. The agents were fine. The root cause was an unrelated database cleanup job, a boring maintenance ticket that held locks and stopped conversation state from updating. Zendesk disclosed it themselves, root cause and all. The lesson is precise. The boring infrastructure ticket next to your agent stack needs the same review gate as the agent itself. The agents did not go rogue, the plumbing did. Third layer, measurement, because the best operators grade their agents the way you grade a new hire, except in writing. There is a playbook spreading among engineers right now derived from the working methods of Andrej Karpathy, one of the most respected AI engineers alive. And its first rule is write the scorer before the agent starts working. Decide what good output looks like mechanically first. Ramp, the corporate card and spend management fintech, institutionalized exactly that back in June. A graded test suite of 237 tasks and nearly 3,500 criteria for its bookkeeping agent. And the suite found something no amount of eyeballing would ever find. Cutting one of their prompts by 64% made the agent more accurate. Shorter instructions, better work. You do not discover that with vibes and spot checks. You discover it with a test, and then there is the sentence. Brex, another corporate finance fintech, built an investigation agent back in April that cut ticket research from 45 minutes to about 3, matching the correct root cause 91% of the time. Their engineers published conclusion, and I am quoting, upgrading the model improved investigation quality less than writing better runbooks. Read that twice. The process they wrote down beat the model they could buy. The runbook beat the model. The org charts are catching up to all of this. Box, the file storage company, has created 13 genuinely new job titles for its AI push, as reported by the New York Times in June, while growing headcount, not cutting it. One title is the forward deployed engineer we told you about in July. And one is my favorite job title of the year, AI model evaluator. Grading agent output is now a salaried position at a real company. Somebody owns the scorer. One more rule, pointed outward this time. ERP Today, independent trade press, not a vendor, audited this year's agent pitches and manufacturing software and found most still cannot produce a named customer with falsifiable numbers. So borrow their standard. When a vendor shows you an AI result, ask for the hours saved, the dollars, the time frame, and the headcount affected. If they cannot produce that, you are not looking at a case study. You are looking at a brochure. Here is my read. The frontier of AI management is not technical, and it may never be again. Every practice in this episode, the spending cap, the sign-off, the kill switch, the graded test, the written runbook, predates artificial intelligence by a century. The operators winning right now noticed that agents are just employees at machine speed and reached for the oldest tools in the drawer. The companies waiting for a vendor to productize AI governance are waiting to be sold their own existing management system back to them with a login screen. So picture a $200 million industrial distributor in Monterey. Its team has agents drafting quotes and reconciling invoices, genuinely useful. Everyone is pleased. Now ask the 4 questions. What is each agent allowed to spend? What does it need approval for? Who grades its output against what test? And where is the kill switch? If those answers exist on one page, that company is ahead of most of the Fortune 500. If they do not, the good news is that everything on the page is a decision, not a purchase, and the decisions are free. So here is the mirror, and you know it is coming. If I walked into your Monday meeting and asked what your AI agents are allowed to spend and who signed off on it, would the answer be a document or a shrug? The state of the art in AI management is a spending limit and a sign-off. Welcome back to Management. That is the YPO Tech Network AI brief for Thursday, August 6th. I am Stephen Forte. If this was useful, send it to a fellow member. I will be back tomorrow with more. Until then, stay sharp.